Hey guys, and I'm back. I'm back from Jamaica, and I'm here to talk about events over the last couple of weeks concerning Chelsea and some not so positive results.
Welcome to the Ballers. Ain't got no time for no stallers, yeah.
We are the risers, we're not the fallers. Our channel is growing wider and taller.
Yeah, we're here to give you the news about your dear beloved Blues, yeah.
So if you like this YouTube channel, like, subscribe and turn on that bell.
Yeah.
So 3 weeks in Jamaica, guys, and it was great being away. It's great having a break, and at sometimes it was great being away from Twitter and YouTube, etc., and just chilling out and forgetting football for a time. I spent a couple of days at a cousin's house, and they didn't have no Wi-Fi, no television, so I just escaped everything. And you know what? Sometimes I would advise it for some of our fan base. Just chill out, get rid of all this social media, get rid of all this negativity, and just recharge your batteries. It's good for your health. So I've came back Friday morning, and obviously we had the game against Brighton, and this game was just the script was written for Brighton to beat us. They've never ever beaten us in their entire history in the top flight. Last season, I think, was the first time under Tuchel was the first time they've actually got points of us. Such was our dominance in this fixture. As they haven't won a game since Graham Potter has left to join Chelsea. And so, all those things were adding up to a Brighton win. And so it happened. Charity FC struck again, and Brighton came away with the points. So this is on the back of two disappointing results against Brentford and against Manchester United. So we've only picked up 1 point out of the possible 9, and the fans base were waiting, weren't they? They were waiting for Graham Potter to slip up. All these people who didn't want him here in the first place couldn't say anything because the results were quite good. Now that we've had 3 not so good results, and the knives are out for Potter, out of his depth, we should have stuck with Thomas Tuchel. Yeah, that was always going to be coming, especially those who didn't want Thomas Tuchel to go in the first place. And so, we noticed that. And it's quite funny, actually, with our fan base, because whenever it's one of the managers that they want in charge, it's always the players' fault. If it's a manager they don't want in charge, it's the manager's fault. We had that under Frank Lampard, it was the manager's fault. Under now Graham Potter, it's the manager's fault. But Tuchel, it was a player's fault. Sarri, it was a player's fault. So whoever, depending on what your agenda is, it's either the manager or the player. It's never both. And I always say, I've been consistent in what I've said. It's not just the manager to blame, the players to blame, the board to blame. It's all of them. Everyone's in it together. Let me start with board level. I know some people are not going to want to hear this, but Abramovich, as good as he was with the investment and everything else, what he left us with, I'm sorry, it was a little bit of a mess, because we just used to try and buy our way out of trouble all the time, or fire managers and get new managers in. And what that did for us, we didn't have that sustainability. There was going to come a point where, and it's come now, I think, where this hire fire, sell buy sell thing is the luck's going to run out. We're not going to, and we've stayed competitive in cup competitions, but we haven't challenged for the league for ages. Why? Because we just didn't have that base to do it. And so Todd Boehly's come in now. He's identified all these issues. So he's had a clean sweep. He's got rid of a lot of the backroom staff. He's tried to bring in everything from new scoutings, new medical staff, new technical director. He wants to get this club right from bottom up. So all these people are blaming him at the moment. I'm laying off blame from Todd Boehly at the minute. I know some people said the way that we bought this this year's season was a bit of a, wasn't well thought out. But this guy's just come into football. He was relying a lot on Thomas Tuchel. So a lot of these guys who are coming in, they were people who were targeted by Thomas Tuchel. And the only thing I would have said is what he could have done probably better is maybe kept on to the likes of Petr Cech, and so that it'll be seamless, so that we can have that succession plan. But I suppose he wanted that clean sweep of people. So he was doing like the director of football job himself. So we overspent on a couple of players. Cucurella, who's not playing well so far. I'm not saying that he may come good, but at the moment he's not proving that value for money. And people like, why buy somebody like Aubameyang if you knew that you're going to be getting rid of Thomas Tuchel, and Zakaria. So, and I'll talk about those guys in a minute. So for me, yeah, that's the issue I have with what he's done. And this moves on to my next point now. We need to, we've seen how a good club can be run. Manchester City, they came after us, because obviously we had Roman Abramovich was the first one to start this sort of, came in with big money, spending big, etc. But as I said, we used to try and buy in the Galacticos. Although we didn't get any main big Galactico players, but we did spend big on quite a lot of players. And then he wanted, like for instance, Shevchenko. Should we have got Shevchenko? Probably not. Should we have got Torres when we could have got Aguero? That's the issue. He wanted that big shiny toy. We could have got Aguero and Godin for the price that we paid for Torres, and that could have given us more long-term success. So Man City looked at us and said, you know what, we want to do what Chelsea did, but do it better. And that's what they've done. So they've done it better. They've created a better model. They've brought in the two guys from Barcelona, and with a plan to get in Pep Guardiola. And what they're doing now is you can see that they've had sustained success. And I don't think what Man City is doing, it's not going away, because they're doing it in the right way. And the other team you've got to look at, there's two teams who are up and coming now, who are probably going to be overtaking us if we don't get I know if Todd Bowley gets it right, then maybe not, but if we still carry on the way that we're doing it at the moment, Arsenal and Newcastle. Let's start with Arsenal. Arsenal had a plan, and they've stuck with their manager. The results weren't going great, and there were terrible results at the beginning of the season, last season, which a lot of Chelsea fans would have been calling for the manager's head. Arsenal stayed patient because they had a vision, and now you're seeing what's happening, top of the league, and they are, starting to get some positive results coming in because they've stuck with their manager. And Newcastle have come after Chelsea, but they've had targeted transfers. They knew that they had to. They got the best defensive record in the Premier League. Why? Because they targeted the right players. Nick Pope, excellent acquisition. They've got Burns from Brighton, and Grameras. That's someone who we should have gone for. Not Burn, obviously, not Dan Burn, but was it Grameras? He's somebody who our scouts looked at and said he wasn't good enough, and that's the problem. That's why I'm glad that our scouts have gone. He was there. Tremeni, two people we could have brought in who would have improved us, because we are lacking in that midfield area. But they were deemed not good enough for us. Take Ramirez out of Newcastle, and they're a different side. One player has transformed them, And I was calling out for another player at Newcastle who we should have gone for. We didn't even look at, and I said that we should have got him at the time, and this guy could have solved two of our problems in one hit, and for less of the price that we paid for Cucurella. And that guy is none other than Trippier. Trippier is what would he have added for us? He can play right wing, he can right wing back, left wing back, right back, left back. Versatile. He could have given us that versatility, and he's given them a little bit of leadership as well, some quality from set plays. And he's somebody who, it wasn't glamorous enough for Chelsea. We wanted somebody else, but he was there, ready to come, and Newcastle came from him. And look, he's transformed them. Him, Grameras, 2 players that we could have got. Newcastle came in, identified positions of weakness, and they've got it. Chelsea now, we haven't got. We're the only club in the Premier League. I saw someone say earlier today, who haven't got a true number 6. We've got a Regista in Jorginho, but we haven't got like a true holding player and holding midfielder, and that's an issue with us as well. We've been buying players, but are they the right players in the right areas for us? I don't think so. So there's certain things that we need to do, and we need to do better. I'm consistent, and I like to be consistent in the way I think, and so I'm not one with agendas like some people are with agendas for this player or that player or this manager or that manager. I give it to fairly. And then Graham Potter, I think we should stick with him. He's somebody, I think that what we saw yesterday was a Potter team beat a Tuchel team, because all these players were, not all of them, some of these were bought by Tuchel for this season, and then a lot of the players who were for Brighton were Potter players who play into the way that Potter wants to play. So if we stick with this guy and he gets in the additions that he needs, and he starts to implement it, and the players take on board what he says, then we'll be seeing this kind of football. But we need to be patient as a fan base. And what I'm going to say now, as I said, is I've said that under Tuchel. Tuchel's issue was that he was too stubborn. He wasn't changing things that we needed to change, and so I didn't see a lot of progression under him. I know some people may disagree, but I didn't see a lot of a progression from an attacking point of view, and he wasn't integrating some of the younger players, so I just don't know what was going on towards the end of his tenure. So same thing with Potter. If I don't see progression, if I see him making same mistakes week in, week out, then I'll have the same energy. Although I don't call for managers' heads, I never do that, but I'll be questioning him. I'll be questioning Potter if I see that we're not making any sort of advancement from when he first took over. He's made mistakes, and I'll call people up for mistakes, positive criticism. And yesterday I thought, playing the 2 wing backs, okay, it worked against RB Salzburg, but that's because RB Salzburg played very narrow, and so it gives us that width out in the wide areas, so we could have played that attacking formation. But to play the same team with Sterling and Pulisic as wing backs, again, not their positions, it was suicide. You saw that team, and it was suicide against a team like Brighton, who attack you hard and fast and try and attack you down the wings as well. Because these guys, naturally, their game is to go forward, not to defend. And especially down that left-hand side, we got murdered. If you haven't got the players, the personnel, I know we've been hit by injuries, and we've been struggling with injuries. Other clubs, such as the likes of Newcastle, I've mentioned, Arsenal, have been relatively injury-free. So we've had the decimated defence, so that's got to be taken into account as well. But you just play forward the back. You play to your strengths. Cucurella has been a nightmare as a left-sided centre-back. So you play 4-4-2. Just tighten up your midfield. Just play the personnel you have rather than playing players out of position. Did it against Manchester United, and we saw that as soon as he brought in Kovacic and put him into the middle, then we were a lot stronger. We took over the initiative in that game once that change was made. But we shouldn't be waiting to make these changes. These things should be thought about at the beginning, and the way we set up our play, we need to get out of stalls really quickly. So for me, that's where he's got to take some blame. He's got to do better. So hopefully you'll learn from the last 2 games, and we'll see more of an improvement from him. So that's it. I can go on, but I don't want this video to go. It's a bit too long at the moment, so there's other things I can talk about, but I'll address the other issues in another video going forward. But as I said, guys, let's stop this nonsense infighting, blaming pitting this player against this player, this manager against this manager, this whoever against whoever. We're all in it together, guys. This is going to be a painful process. I know a lot of you are not used to this painful process because a lot of you came into this side, started supporting this team when Abramovich took over, and all you're used to is success. You know, I've been here through the thick and the thin, so I'm prepared to be patient for and ride this out, because you know, short-term pain for long-term gain is sometimes what's needed, because you know, we wasn't sustainable with what we were doing in the past. So let's stay patient. And I said that my energy would only go up, my negativity would only go up if I see, you know, 6-7 months down the line not a lot has changed. Then I'll be starting to ask questions. But until then, you know, I'm willing to ride it out, and I hope the rest of you are too. So that's my thoughts about the last couple of weeks. So back in England, as I said, so I'll be putting out a few more videos now that I'm here. And so and if it gets a bit more negative, I think I may disappear to a place again where there's no Wi-Fi, so I can just get away from it all and just chill out and just, you know, relax. Yeah, anyway, take care guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on all post notifications so you'll be notified every time I make a new video. Take care.